5 reasons why you might not want to become a real estate agent. If you're not the most self-disciplined person, this might not be the right career choice for you. Because there are days when you have to do things you don't feel like doing. Now don't get me wrong, that first commission check will fill you full of motivation. Passing the state test will get you really excited. But after somebody tells you no 30 times in a row, that motivation can wane. The difference between those that make it in this business and those that don't is discipline. It's regardless of how they feel or the motivation that they feel in that moment in time, they're still getting up, making their phone calls, and knocking on the doors they have to in order to get the results that they want. Being shy doesn't have to be a death sentence, but if you really don't like talking to people at all, in any form of communication, then you might want to look for a different career. But there's so many different ways to communicate with people these days. You can text, you can email, you can message via Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, Twitter. You can send video messages, Snapchat, Instagram, so many different methods of communication. So if you have 1 or 2 methods of communication that you like to use with the people that are in your life, there's still hope for you. The biggest thing is figuring out what methods of communication do I feel comfortable using and will I be disciplined in using to reach out and talk to people on a regular basis, because that's how you get the result that you want. Me, for example, I work with out-of-state real estate investors. The vast majority of my communication is electronic in nature. It usually starts with emails and text messages, followed up by phone calls, and then more emails and text messages. Oftentimes, these investors never come to the state of Florida. I never meet them in person. We still build relationships, but it's through a digital format. So it is possible to sell homes and not necessarily have to meet people in person. Everyone in this industry, whether you're on a team or a solo entrepreneur, is self-employed. Everyone is a 1099 contract employee for the most part. And so what that means is that you're still your own boss, even if you have a team leader. When I was younger, I dreamed about being my own boss. But honestly, the more and more I thought about it, and I thought about the boss of what? What kind of business would I have? I couldn't think of one thing that I'd be excited to get up and do on Monday morning without there being some sort of consequence for not showing up. I needed that boss, that authority figure in my life at that point in time, because I hadn't really found something I was truly passionate about. Luckily for me, I did find that in real estate. But if you don't feel that way, or if you think about, would I get up and go to work if there was nobody that was there to yell at me if I didn't show up, then being a real estate agent may not be the best idea for you. Now, there's no shame in that. There are people that make great money with specialized skills working for other people. And if you prefer that idea of trading your time for money, that's great. But if you want to be your own boss and be in control of your time and in control of your income and see a direct reflection of the amount of work you put in compared to the amount of money you earn, then there's no better career than real estate. Let's talk about the amount of hours you'll be working as a real estate agent and whether or not that's going to be something that you're going to be comfortable with. Because I'll be honest with you, the early days of being in this career, especially the first 2 years, you're going to work all the time, every day. You do need to be available to your clients to show them homes, oftentimes at the drop of a hat. Now, the more and more that you're in the industry and as your business grows, there are ways that you can leverage. You can bring on team members. You can hire an assistant. There's ways that you can get your time back. But the beautiful thing, even in those first 2 years, is you don't necessarily have to be tied to an office or a desk. I can do almost all of my work from wherever I am with this. And with the advancement in technology and cell services and computers that can connect to your cell service, there's no excuse why you can't sit on the beach and still help a client shop for their home. Right before getting into real estate, I worked for a large American corporation. I was a customer success manager. I worked in an office and I had clients that I needed to meet with on a regular basis. But in a given week, I would maybe only work 20 hours. The other 20 hours I would spend looking busy or researching things on the internet. Now, I got a real estate license because I had extra time and I wanted to fill that time. When I transitioned to work from home, I was able to do a lot more real estate business during the regular workday because I was working from home and not in an office. But if you're the type of person that you don't really want to work all the time, you like having your weekends off and your paid vacations, this really won't be the industry for you. Because honestly, those first 2 years, you're going to work all the time. Your phone will ring at the most inconvenient time and it'll be a prospective client, or you'll have plans for that weekend and somebody will call and say they really want to go see that house. And you're going to have to decide. So if you'd rather go out on the boat, this probably isn't going to be the best career choice for you. So this one's really important. If you're one of those people when you turn on the TV and it's one of those real estate TV shows and you instantly turn it off, well, this may not be the right industry for you. Because, believe it or not, you gotta talk about houses. You gotta be interested in houses. You gotta learn about houses. You need to learn about financing houses, building houses, repairing houses, types of houses. And it never ends. You are constantly having to learn and adapt to market and product differences. So listen, if you don't like real estate, if you don't like houses, and more importantly, if you don't like people, then do yourself a favor and look for another industry where you can make good money and not have to deal with those things.